This is the ultimate people mover. There are no options on this vehicle. It comes fully loaded. What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 Cadillac Escalade ESV Sport Platinum. Huge thank you to Mike.Dwyer over here at More Cadillac of Chantilly, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Escalade or any Cadillac product at or below MSRP, then I'll be sure to have Mike and More Cadillac's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It is a very windy day outside here today, so if there is any wind noise in today's video, I apologize in advance about that. But just like usual, first, I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2025 Cadillac Escalade ESV Sport Platinum, and this particular one's been painted in Black Raven. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2025, the Escalade has been revamped inside and out with a larger front grille, a new headlight arrangement, subtly updated taillights and rear trim, optional 24-inch wheels, new colors, a larger 55-inch digital dash display. Super Cruise is now standard across the lineup, and Cadillac also discontinued the Baby Duramax here on the Escalade. But this particular one, being the Sport Platinum, as standard, you get adaptive LED headlights with cornering and IntelliBeam, as well as LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and some black headlight trim. Now, taking a few steps to the left, here's a front-on shot of the newly refreshed Escalade. I think it looks fantastic. I thought it looked great from the 21 to the 24 model years, but they made it look just that much better here for the 2025 model year, just in my personal opinion. You can let me know your thoughts so far on the refresh in the comments down below, stylistically speaking, of course. But this one being the Sport Platinum, you get the gloss black mesh style grille with the gloss black grille surround. Cadillac logo located at the center of the grille, and beneath that you see a forward-facing camera, and that is because this comes standard with a 360-degree view camera system. Now back up to the logo here for a second. If you don't like the way that the regular Cadillac logo looks, and you wanted more of like a black looking logo, take a look at the $4,850 Onyx package. That's going to give you the black illuminating emblem. It's going to give you the 24-inch wheels and everything else you can read on screen now. Back to safety features, you get 6 forward-facing sensors up here at the front end as standard, and stylistically speaking, you get the gloss black lower grille down here. I know it's hard to tell what's black with the grille and what's the body color pieces, but I'll show you a blue Escalade on screen right now so you can kind of pinpoint what's gloss black and what's body color. And then offset to the right of your lower grille, that is where you will find your night vision camera, and that also does come standard here on the Sport Platinum. Here's what it looks like on the digital dash now. And then last but not least, the Sport Platinum gets 6.9 inches of running ground clearance. Now, to summarize the 2025 refresh, very subtle here on the exterior, basically larger grille, smaller daytime running lights. You get the vertical stack headlights, kind of what you would have found on like a 2015 to 2019 Escalade. They also did very subtle changes on the taillights. The side profile looks pretty much the exact same, other than the wheels that you now get these wheels, which I will get into here in a second. But first, I wanted to just say, very nice refresh for 2025. Very subtle on the side and also very subtle in the front and the back. Let me know your opinions on the refresh so far in the comments down below. But again, this one being the Sport Platinum, this is the top dog trim level other than the 6.2 liter supercharged Escalade V. So you do get the adaptive air ride suspension that works with the magnetic ride control suspension for a fantastic on-road ride. It feels like you're riding on a cloud, and you will see that on the driving portion of the video, which is coming up here in about 10 or 15 minutes. But anyways, as I was mentioning these wheels, do these wheels look familiar to any of you guys? Well, if they don't, I'm going to give you a little tidbit of information. So these are the wheels off of a 2024 Cadillac Escalade V. So I'm assuming that the factory had a surplus of V wheels, so they're like, hey, let's throw them on the Sport Platinums. Anyways, they look fantastic, and they are 22-inch, 18-spoke after midnight finished wheels, and the wheels are wrapped in 275/50 Bridgestone Alenza ASO2 all-season tires. I'll give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick. I'll also throw the price of one tire on screen right now. And if you're not a fan of the way that the V wheels look, I'm not sure how you wouldn't like them, but there are 4 other wheel options. 3 of them are a standalone option. One, which is the 24-inch wheel option, does come with the Onyx package, which is kind of rather pricey. And then there are also optional 6-piston Brembo brakes that you can look into getting with the performance upgrade package. Obviously, this being an Escalade, you do get rain sensing wipers, and coming on down the side, you get body color mirror caps with integrated turn signals. And as standard, the side view mirrors are heated, power folding. The driver's side mirror is auto dimming. You also get a blind spot function on the upper left-hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right-hand side of your passenger side mirror. You also get 2 memory seat settings. So not only does it memorize your driver's seat and steering wheel settings, it also memorizes the outer mirror settings as well, which is nice if you have multiple people driving the vehicle. Then you get a camera at the bottom of both of your side view mirrors. Again, those work with your 360-degree view camera system. And you also get a puddle light with the Cadillac crest projection. Basically puts a little Cadillac logo down on the ground at night. I think that is a pretty cool thing. And one thing I wanted to point out is that for 2025, here's another little subtle piece of information. You now get a new antenna design, so it doesn't look so much like a shark fin antenna. It's a little bit larger than last year. I'm assuming that's for some more connectivity features that you now get with the 2025 model. Again, Sport Platinum, you get gloss black roof rails, gloss black window trim, gloss black door trim. You also get body color door handles with keyless access and illumination. So this illumination piece right here lights up at night, basically to help you find your door handles. Not very hard to find the door handles. And then for 2025, now as standard with the Sport Platinum, you get the soft closing doors and the power running boards. That was always something that I complained about with the 2024, is that even with the Sport Platinum for 21 to 24, you would not get power running boards standard. Now for 2025, you get the power running board standard in addition to the soft closing doors, which I think is pretty cool. And then also, this does come equipped with the power assist open and close doors, but that will come with a future software update. It is not working at the current time. Here's another little tidbit of information if you were wondering, if you were comparing just the regular Escalade to the ESV is 15.1 inches longer than the regular Escalade. And then also, premium fuel is recommended. You get a capless filler neck. I guess my uncle had one of these back in the day, and he would fill it up with regular, even though it said premium recommended. So I guess you could put regular in this. I would recommend putting premium in it. If it says put premium in it, put premium in it. And then up top here, body color roof spoiler. You get your third, or excuse me, not your third brake light, but you do get your third brake light there. And then your wiper does hide up underneath here, if you can see that now. You get a rear window defroster. The upper glass piece does open, and then obviously you get LED taillights with this thing. You can see it kind of choreographed lighting features just like you get on the Escalade IQ. Taillights are very slightly different. This is more of like a boxed cube light down here, and then this reflector here is also a different shape. Just little things that I figured I might point out. A couple other things is that this piece right here also looks different, as does this trim piece here, and as does the lower bumper. So there's a couple little things that you get for 2025. Satin chrome badging back here. If you wanted to open up the upper glass piece, you have that button that is located right there. That is your rear backup camera, and then that is your digital mirror camera right there with the washer. If you wanted to open up your trunk, you press the Cadillac logo and the trunk will open up. And we're gonna see what we got going on here in the trunk area. So the ESV does get more space behind the third row seats. You can see you probably get, I don't know, 3.5 feet of storage space with those third row seats up. A couple nice features here is that you do get the power raising and lowering third row seats, but you only get the power dropping second row seats. This is to drop the second row seats. This is to raise and lower the third row seats. And then you also get a household power outlet back here as well. Underneath the trunk, you get deeper storage space. The closer you get to the third row seats, it gets a little bit shallower here when you get to the trunk opening. But down under here, you could set your jumper cables. You could set a set of shoes. You could set the gloves and stuff like that. pressing on that button, and the lift gate will close up. And we're going to finish things off here at the rear end. So just like the front, the rear also gets 6 parking sensors. You get a dual exhaust system. One thing that is very nice, and it seems like most vehicles are now doing away with a spare tire, this does give you a spare tire up underneath there. And then also, this being the Escalade, everybody like in Europe and everybody, oh, why do you Americans drive such big cars? Well, let me tell you, you can fit like 8 people in this thing, and then you can also tow whatever you want behind you as long as it is under 7,800 pounds. So you get a 7,800 pound max tow capacity, meaning you can tow your whole, or put your whole family in this thing, and then you can tow your boat, you can tow your side-by-sides, or you can tow your race car behind this thing on the way to the beach, on the way to the drag strip, on the way to wherever the hell you want to go. You can tow it and you can carry those people around. This is the ultimate people mover in my personal opinion. It is one of my favorite luxury SUVs on the road. And one thing I wanted to say, if you wanted more performance out of the Sport Platinum but you didn't quite want to step up to the V, take a look at the $7,495 performance upgrade package. 6-piston Brembo brakes, a catback exhaust, cold air intake, etc. I guess with that stuff out of the way, we should now talk about performance. Popping open that hood reveals the 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 that produces 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 14 miles per gallon in the city, 18 miles per gallon on the highway for 16 miles per gallon combined when spec'd with 4-wheel drive. You can also get this in rear-wheel drive if you do not need 4-wheel drive, but if you're getting an Escalade, you should definitely get it in 4-wheel drive. The resale value is higher with 4-wheel drive. And now, this is the only engine option that you can get with the 2025 Escalade. Again, they did away with the little Duramax diesel, which was good for fuel economy. But if you have an Escalade, you're paying $125,000 for a vehicle. I don't think you're worried about paying for gas. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section down below, as well as hit that subscribe button so you guys never miss a new video. This is how I make my living. So if you guys have enjoyed the video thus far, please like, comment, and subscribe. And then also, I also have some cool cars that I make content with once a week on Modifying Monday. I have a C6 Z06 that just got hit by a Ram TRX. I also have a cammed Camaro SS, a 1974 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia, and I am also LS swapping an 87 F-150. So if any of that stuff piques your interest, make sure you hit that subscribe button, then follow me on Instagram and TikTok at 703speed to see behind the scenes of what it's like to run a small YouTube channel and my car content. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier, you get keyless access as standard. All you got to do, keep fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock and open. If you wanted to lock the vehicle, all you have to do is run your finger across that Cadillac crest right there, and the vehicle will lock back up. Taking a look at the key fob, it's satin black with satin chrome accenting, and going over the functions on it. Starting from the top, you have your unlock and your lock functions, your remote start function, your power liftgate function, your upper glass open function there, and obviously you also have your panic function. If you wanted to remote start this, all you have to do is press this button twice and she'll fire right up. And that is what the 6.2 sounds like being fired up from the exterior. As mentioned earlier, this does have the power assist open and close doors. However, that will come with an over-the-air update as the year goes on. But right now, it does not power open and close. But what is new is now the door will hold in a bunch of different positions. You can see holding in a bunch of different positions. So it's not like you're only limited to the one position. There are a bunch of different places that the door will just hold in place for you now. Very, very nice. You can see it's not moving. It will hold in place in a few different spots. And then again, you also get the power soft close doors, which is absolutely awesome. So this particular one's been spec'd with the jet black semi-aniline leather. You get the semi-aniline leather with the Sport Platinum. If you're not a fan of the jet black, you think it's a little drab, there are 2 other interior color options. I think the black looks pretty good in my opinion. And then taking a look at our door panel here on the driver's side, all of from here on up is leather wrapped, accent stitching, wood. You get that satin chrome, 2 memory seat adjustment settings, your unlock and your lock functions, power side view mirror controls, that is to power fold in or out the side view mirrors. You get automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners, nicely padded armrest, storage space, a spot you could set a water bottle, and this comes standard with a 36 speaker AKG sound system. It sounds fantastic. If you do spec it with the executive second row seating package, that will upgrade you to a 40 speaker AKG sound system. Anyways, this is what these front seats look like. Super, super luxurious. They're also very comfortable as well. And obviously they are power adjustable. So you get 12-way power adjustable front seats with the massage function. Again, they're obviously heated and ventilated, and you also get a heated steering wheel as well. One thing that's pretty cool, you get these speakers in the headrests for added, whatever, I don't even know what I was gonna say, but for added something, added audio. That's what we'll go with. Closing that door, you can see I want to show you this soft close. You don't close it all the way. It will close it all the way for you. Very, very nice feature. Then press that button right there and boom. Now we have access here into the dash and the digital display. I'm gonna pull up just a little bit. All right, now we are in the shade. It does get a little hot. You can see speaker there, and you can tell what is new for 2025. 55-inch OLED HD display. You get the Google Maps here for the driver. You get the wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto for the infotainment system, and then the passenger also gets a screen that they can mess with themselves, watch YouTube, Hulu, etc. on. Coming over to here, again, this does have a 2-speed transfer case, so you do get 4 high and 4 low, as well as 2 high. You also get 4-wheel drive automatic, and then that mode button right there is to switch you between your different drive modes. So I believe you have got like your trailer mode, you've got your sport mode, you've got your customized mode, which is your my mode, you got your normal mode. You got quite a few different drive modes with this vehicle. And then again, this one having the air ride suspension, that is how you lower the suspension, and then that is how you raise the suspension. Electronic parking brake there. You get an integrated trailer brake controller, and to the right of that, that is how you brighten and or dim the gauge cluster, as well as the backlit buttons. You get a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. That's to bring the steering wheel towards you. That is to push it back, and then that is to go up and down. This is also included with the memory seat functions here for the driver. You may also be able to tell that you now get an updated steering wheel also for 2025. It is leather wrapped. You get the Super Cruise at the top. Super Cruise, again, is standard. Super Cruise is a hands-free driving system. Definitely very nice. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. Take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like here on the Escalade. And just like any other Escalade, you also get the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Going over the controls on the steering wheel, this is for your forward collision warning or your gap adjust for your adaptive cruise control system. So not only do you get the Super Cruise, you also get the adaptive cruise control. So over here, that is to turn the heated steering wheel on or off. This right here is going to put you into your low mode. This is to, raise the speed. This is to lower the speed for this cruise control system. And then right there, that is for your hands-free driving system. So if you wanted to use Super Cruise, you'd click that button right there if you do have the adaptive cruise control on first to turn the Super Cruise on. Super Cruise is one of the best hands-free driving systems on the market. And then on the right-hand side of the steering wheel, this is how you can control your digital dash here. You got your volume controls to the right of that. And then coming down, this is gonna shortcut you into your audio stuff. This is gonna hang up on a phone call. Or excuse me, that is to pick up on a phone call, that is to hang up on a phone call, that right there is to speak to the vehicle. If you are connected to wireless Apple CarPlay and you press and hold on that, that will pop open Siri. That is to go forwards on the track, that is to go backwards on the track, and really that's kind of about it for the steering wheel controls. Now this also is for your Super Cruise system. It does read your eyes, and then you have your windshield wiper controls here. Obviously it is also your high beam and your turn signal control stock. Take a listen to the turn signals. That is what the turn signals sound like on this. And then you also get this new shifter here. If you wanted to go into drive, you pull back on it and push down. If you wanted to go into neutral, you basically pull back and you hold, and then that puts you into neutral. If you wanted to go into reverse, you pull back, push up, that's reverse, and then push on the end of this, and boom, that will put you into park. And now I wanted to show you what the display looks like. So this is your gauge mode right now. You have your, I'm gonna go over here into demo mode so we get full access into everything, but basically you get your transmission status stuff there, 2-wheel drive, your audio stuff, tachometer, digital speedometer readout. You have your fuel range and your fuel gauge. That is your odometer, that is your compass. And to control what you see on this screen here, you can click down, you can go into your Google Maps display. If you click down one more, you can go into your driver assistance display. Then you also have your night vision display. Night vision, again, is where I showed you there on the lower grill. That is where your night vision camera is. It will pop open. It just does take a little bit. And then you go down one more, that is your augmented reality. The augmented reality camera is located behind this piece of plastic here, and it's basically a camera showing you what is in front of you. It's a pretty cool system. I'm honestly kind of almost surprised that that is legal, because it's almost kind of a distraction, but not really. And then obviously this does have a head-up display. The head-up display right now is displaying the digital speedometer readout and the driver assistance features. Head-up display, again, is standard. And really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in this general vicinity. If we come over to here, again, this is all one continuous screen, but it is chopped up into pieces. So from here to the left is the driver's screen. From here to about right here is the infotainment screen. I know it's kind of, you know, cameras never really pick up these screens very well. It doesn't matter if this is in a Lincoln, if I'm in this Cadillac, the camera always struggles to pick up the screen. But anyways, you get your temperature, your time, your date. This is what the home screen looks like. You get your Apple CarPlay stuff, your Android Auto stuff. You can pop up 360. You got your Alexa. Swiping over to here, you get some different ambient lighting features you can go throughout. You can adjust the different colors. You can adjust the basically the colors for the front, the colors for the second row. You can adjust the brightness, the styles, and then you can also link it to the drive mode. So let's say you put this thing into sport mode, all the ambient lighting will turn to red. You go into normal mode, it'll turn to blue, etc. Then you get your podcast, your Google Maps. This does have auto park assist that will parallel or perpendicular park you into a parking space. And then just we'll exit back out of that. And basically down here you get your different shortcuts into home. This is like a secondary screen that's got your Google Maps stuff and your content over there. Then you get your audio stuff, your map stuff, your phone stuff, trailering stuff. And one thing I wanted to show you is that if you do have your phone in the wireless charging pad and it is charging in the wireless charging pad, it will pop open a green LED, or excuse me, a green lightning bolt there, letting you know that the phone is charging. And then very easy to use screen. Don't really feel like I need to spend too much time on the screen itself. But down here, this is how you also can control the screen. So you go to the left and the right, and that is how you can control what you see. And let's say, you know, we're controlling down here and you feel like you can't get out of it. All you got to do is push up on that, and now we're controlling that top screen. Push down to select, and then you got your shortcuts into nav, music, home, back, and then you get your volume control knob here. Then you also get a passenger display. You can see on screen, you can go into the brightness, you can go into YouTube, you can go into Hulu, etc. It wouldn't give me all those features because you do have to be out of demo mode and you have to accept the terms and conditions of the vehicle, which I will let the owner do. I'm not going to do that. But anyways, that is what you can do there on the passenger screen. And then you have a lower screen down here, which right now this lower screen is displaying the climate control stuff. So you got your temperatures here. This is a tri-zone climate control vehicle. If you wanted to pop open your seat controls, you have the buttons on the lower right and left side of the screen. You get your ventilated seat controls, heated steering wheel controls for the driver. You also get the massage function, which right now I am going to put on need. You can adjust the intensity, and you can also adjust, you know, if you want roll, wave, any of those things. Same thing over there for the passenger side. And then you also have the different seat positions here for the driver as well. If you click those two arrows at the top of the screen, you can go into the rear control lock. So basically, the people in the rear seats will not be able to control the HVAC. If you wanted to pop open your glove box, you click that there, and the glove box will open up. Good size glove box down in there. Then you get your window lock. You can pop up your 360 cam by clicking on that. It'll pop open on the top screen. You get your park assist stuff, traction control stuff. And then you may have noticed you no longer get a physical headlight control knob. That is because if you click that light switch right there on the screen, it will pop open your headlight controls. You got your different stuff there. Now, one thing about all of these different screens is that you are going to pick up some fingerprint smudges, right? So if you wanted a detailer's secret on how to keep all of these screens clean, You're gonna buy this thing that I have on screen right now. It's called O&R. You mix it with water and you get a microfiber rag and a Zep bottle. You put the water and that solution in the Zep bottle, you shake it up, you spray it on one microfiber, get that microfiber super wet, and then you go throughout the entire screen. You follow it up with a dry microfiber and you clean it up, and it's gonna look brand new every single time you do that. Not only can you use it on the screens, you can use it on the leather, you can use it on the windows, and it will get all of this stuff super clean. I used to be a detailer. That is what we used when I was a detailer, when I detailed cars. Guys, that's just a little tidbit of information. I suggest you pick it up if you do have kids, or if you just want to keep the interior of your car clean. It's literally a two-step process. You wet down the microfiber, you wet it down, and then you dry it. Very, very simple. It's gonna work on all of your interior components. But yeah, that's kind of about it for that lower control panel. This is how you can control the seats. It's how you can control the 360 cam. It's how you can control the climate. A bunch of different stuff is throughout this screen here. Hazard button, then you have the auto hold button. Basically, it's gonna hold you in place. The vehicle's gonna hold you in place by itself with its braking system. Then you have your auto stop start system on or off, and then that right there is to turn your HVAC system on or off by the push of that button. Storage space down in here, you could set some phones. You also get a little bit of storage space down there on the driver's side, as well as also on the passenger side. The passenger side also, I believe, gets USB ports as well. 2 cup holders, wireless charging pad, nicely padded armrest here, and it does have a little Escalade thing in metal there. If you open it up, you get a divider, you get a 12-volt outlet, you get a USB-A port and a USB-C port. Nice and deep, nice and wide. You can fit what you need to down in there. As mentioned, digital rear view mirror as standard. If you don't like the digital rear view mirror, you can flip it forward, and then it's just going to behave like an auto dimming rear view mirror would. Turning that back on, you have some different variabilities. You can adjust the brightness of it, you can adjust the zoom of it, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, and then you can also go down, you can go up, and that's about it. So tons of adjustability with that screen. Very nice. If you it's basically rids you of your blind spots is what I found. Then up top here, you get your OnStar stuff, passenger airbag stuff. This does come standard with a panoramic roof. So this is how you slide the roof. That is how you tilt the roof. And then that is for the shade. Both of your lights here are LED. These buttons here are to drop and or raise your third row seats. You have your button to push to open up the power lift gate. You can turn that to open up 3/4 of the way, or all the way to the right is to turn the power lift gate off. I like to leave it on max. You also now get an interior screen. This is also, or excuse me, an interior camera. This is also going to be a part of the over-the-air update. It's basically like a Ring camera for the inside of the vehicle. And then you also get a motion sensor up top here. So let's say you go into Cars and Coffee, and you leave all your windows down. With that on, if somebody reaches into your vehicle, it's going to set the alarm off. And then you also get an Alcantara headliner. Very nice feeling. Opening this up, you get a vanity mirror, 2 vanity lights, and then this does slide in and out. You also get an OPU panel for the driver. You get the same thing over there for the passenger, including the visor and stuff. Speaker, and that's kind of about it for what we got going on in these front seats. Very comfortable seats. It feels like they're a little more comfortable than last year. I love having the massage function. Basically, these seats do it all. Now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard. There are no options on this vehicle. It comes fully loaded. 2 options you might want to look into getting is either the Onyx package or the Performance Upgrade package. Again, those 2 are optional. If you're going to get the Performance Upgrade package, just upgrade to the Escalade V. You get that big engine. Basically, I'm just going to highlight the MSRP now. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 25 Escalade ESV Sport Platinum is spec'd is $124,890. A ton of money, but this is the top dog Cadillac. It's very nice, and it can do pretty much everything that you want a vehicle to do. Now, one option that is a late availability option, it is not available yet here. I'm in early March of 2024 or 2025, excuse me, is the $7,500 executive second row seats. Basically, you're going to get 40 speakers here on the interior. You're going to get a massaging second row seat, second row ventilated seats, power adjustable second row seats. I mean, you guys can read on screen right now what you get with that. Basically everything. So I do want to show you what we got going on in the second row as standard. So one thing I do wish that this had was a peasant blocker, padded armrest, automatic up and down windows. You have your unlock and your lock functions and some storage space. You get the Escalade door sill here. This is what the second row seats look like. They do slide. They also, if you pull on this twice, you can open this seat up. Easy access to the third row. And now we're going to step into these second row seats. So as standard, you get the dual 12.6 inch screens back here. You can go into YouTube, Hulu, same stuff that you get with that front passenger screen. Up top here, you get HVAC vent, you get a light, you get another speaker, and a dry cleaning hook. You get a leather wrapped OPU panel, another leather wrapped OPU panel for that side. You get seat back pockets behind both of the front seats. You get heated second row seats, 3 levels of adjustability. You get the cup holders there at the center console. These 2 HDMI ports are for your dual 12.6 inch screens. You also get the dual USB-C ports, and you also get a household power outlet down there. This being an Escalade, obviously tons of knee and leg room. I'm 5'9", adjusted behind myself. Tons of headroom. One gripe that I have with this vehicle is that they do not have locking second row armrests. I would like to see that on an Escalade coming up at some point. But anyways, now in the third row, you get a USB-C port, a cup holder, storage space. You get the same stuff on that side, followed by some HVAC vents here in the roof and your LED lights. Again, 5'9", adjusted behind myself. Still have plenty of knee and leg room. There's another view of the knee and leg room. And then headroom, I still have a ton back here as well. So if you guys are a family of, 5 or 6, this is a great vehicle for you. Everybody's going to be very comfortable. You still have the trunk space and you can still tow. So if you have the money for it, I would say this is a one-of-a-kind vehicle. Obviously, the Suburban and the Yukon are similar to it, but this is much, much nicer than both of those. They've really, in the past few years, made themselves much different than even the Yukon. But really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the interior. We've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of this thing. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. That 6.2 sounds good. Now let's test the handling. I mean, all things considered, how heavy this thing is, it handles very, very well. And you would think that, like I was mentioning earlier in the video, it really feels like you're riding, like go over bumps and stuff, feels like you're riding in an airplane, because it feels like you're riding on a cloud. I mean, it really, really does. But at the same time, with that magnetic ride control system working with the air ride suspension, you have very little body roll. There's an F-Pace SVR. It looks sick. I just did a video yesterday, and there was also another F-Pace SVR when I started doing the driving portion of the video. I don't know, it's just kind of funny how that works out. But it is such a fantastic suspension system. Here's sound. And the 6.2 also sounds phenomenal as well. It's got plenty of low end torque, plenty of get up. But back to the suspension, it is phenomenal. I mean, it literally feels like you're riding on a cloud. When you hit a bump, it's like you're almost excited to hit the bump, because you're like, oh, I guarantee you I'm not really gonna feel this bump. And if that could be a game that you play with your kids. Are we gonna feel this bump? I don't know. Most likely not. So anyway, it's a very windy day outside here today. If I was in a Toyota Corolla, you'd really be hearing that wind noise. But in this thing, listen. Can you hear it? Slightly, yes. But I mean, it's just very, very minimal. This thing has next generation active noise canceling, meaning that you have a very, very quiet ride here on the interior. I mean, what do you expect? You're in an Escalade. This is one of my favorite SUVs, and I'll tell you why. It looks fantastic. It's got plenty of space here on the interior. Granted, I'm an American car person. I love American vehicles, but I also really love the German stuff too. But what's so nice about this is that it's so large. You can fit your whole family in this thing. It can still tow a ton of weight. And when you go and look at the German alternatives, like let's say the GLS, like the X7, or like the Audi Q7, they're big and they can carry around, you know, 3 rows full of people, but they're not big like an Escalade. I mean, this thing really has just like 3 rows of seating, but then everybody has their own space. Here's another acceleration. And what's nice now is that, you know, GM has their version of an AMG. They have their version of an X7 M50, and you can get the Escalade V, and it's going to make 682 horsepower, and it's one of the best sounding V8s really on the market, and it's fast, it sounds fantastic. It's just a great all-around vehicle, and it will surprise you
Crash reported ahead.
How well it handles. I'm going to do a U-turn here. We'll drive through this neighborhood. We'll pretend like we live here. I'm kind of going off the wall here. It looks like we're not allowed in this neighborhood. But anyways, I'll show you, I guess, the mobility of what it's like to drive the ESV. I think this thing's 227 inches long or something crazy like that. And you can see with the 360 camera system, it's got very easy to maneuver, and it's also got lightish steering. It's got a hint of heft to it, which I like. But I'm gonna go over here to the left. All right, we're pulling out. We're just gonna go the other way because I don't feel like sitting in traffic right now. But they give you a little bit of everything. You know, it is kind of a shame. I don't know why they would have gotten rid of the 3-liter Duramax, other than they didn't really sell many of them with that engine in it. The 3-liter Duramax, from what I've seen, can have big failures, but it also is reliable. It just depends, you know. But it also gets very good fuel economy. I remember the 3-liter Duramax used to get like 26 miles per gallon at most on the highway, which is fantastic for a big SUV like this. This one can do about 18 on the highway. But you know, this is the powerhouse between the Duramax and the gas engine. So it's just a very easy vehicle to drive. You know, you feel like you're not really exerting yourself driving this. You know, I mean, obviously you're not going to exert yourself because it does have power steering, and it's rather easy to drive, but it's just a very comfortable driving vehicle. I'm going to try to see if I can get Super Cruise to drive. I got to turn on adaptive cruise control, and now let's see if Super Cruise will work. Okay, now it's super cruising, meaning that it is supposed to stay in the lane. It's kind of odd feeling having this thing drive, but you can see this is now the full driving. It's driving itself, and we're just on a residential road. It's going to track the road, it's going to track the cars in front of me, it's going to brake, it's going to accelerate, it's going to do what I would do if I was driving this vehicle. And this is just an example. If you're on the highway, you're doing a road trip from Washington, D.C. down to Miami, Florida or something, all you have to do really is sit in your seat. You come over to here, you click this, click massage, and now the vehicle is driving me and I'm getting a massage. And it's very quiet on the exterior. You could be blasting your 36 speaker AKG sound system, which sounds great, by the way. It's a fantastic sounding sound system. What does it want me to do? Take control, take vehicle control. So there's a little glimpse of what Super Cruise is like driving. Very nice system. Takes the effort out of driving, which is also very nice. So I like that it can go on the back roads with Super Cruise. It can go on the highway with Super Cruise. It's an overall great vehicle because it's such a smooth ride. It's not bouncy, really. I mean, you do get a little bounce if you hit a really big bump, but it soaks up that bounce better than you would expect it to. I'll say that. It's just a very easy driving experience. It really, really is. And that's what I like about the Escalade, you know? It's just easy. It can carry around everybody you need to carry around. It can tow your boat. It does everything, and it does everything well. And that is why this is one of my favorite SUVs ever, because it looks great. It drives great. It's so practical, other than the fuel economy and the price. If this was way less money, I mean, yeah, they also do have like the Tahoes and they have the Yukons and stuff. It's not the same. It really is not the same. I drove a Tahoe the other day. I drove a Yukon a few months ago, and this is just that next level. If you have the money for it, it's really the ultimate luxury SUV because it does everything. It can do everything, and it does everything well. So that's what I'm going to leave you off with today. Other than the fuel economy and other than the price, this thing does everything very, very well. But again, if you have the money for an Escalade, you're spending $125,000 on a vehicle, I really don't think you're too concerned about the price of fuel here with the Escalade. It's gonna suck down that fuel, but it's gonna do everything else so well that it's probably gonna be one of your favorite vehicles that you've ever owned. And if you live in the city, maybe not so much, but if you live and you do a mix of city driving and a mix of country driving, it's going to be probably your favorite vehicle that you've ever owned because it does everything and it does everything well. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I can't reach my goal without your support. This is how I earn a living. So not only do I post review videos, I also do a thing called Modifying Mondays. So every Monday I post a video with my own personal vehicle. I've got a C6 Z06, I got a cammed Camaro SS, a 74 Volkswagen Carmen Ghia, and an LS swapped F-150. So if any of that stuff piques your interest, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at 703 Speed, where I do car videos, reviews, and then also videos of my own cars again. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace!